Roll Tide, everybody. Roll Tide. I always wanted to do that. How you doing today? We are 12 days away from the big game. 12 days away, and what's going on today? It is that early National Signing Day where all the kids make their decisions early if they like. Join the team if you like. But before we get into that, we're going to listen to the captains talk about a few things regarding what are they working on in practice, Michigan film study, physicality, the iconic Rose Bowl, and even helicopters.
Asked about how your birthday was and how your ride in the helicopter was.
Man, it was just to have another trip around the sun is a blessing, number one. But I enjoyed my birthday. It was good to be around family. My family came down, so I enjoyed that with them. And then that was my first time on a helicopter, so another enjoyable experience. I enjoyed that. And so, this my 21st, there was one to remember for sure.
It's been a while now, but I wonder if you can remember back and your feelings at the end of the Auburn game when you were on the sidelines and there still were a few seconds to go, and then at the end of the Georgia game where you didn't have to worry.
Number one with the Auburn game, that is a game that we'll all remember wearing the A. But it was all about finish at that point of the football game. We were able to score, but then our defense in return stops them, and Terrion gets nearly a pick six. So, it was all about finish at that point of the game, and then also fundamentally not getting a penalty. So that was good for us for the Auburn game. And then the Georgia game, Coach Saban talks about 60 minutes and then doing our job. And so to have that final kneel at the end of the game just goes on to holding up the four quarters that we like to do at the end of the third quarter. So there's a lot of components that allowed us to be successful in both of those games.
I asked Malachi and Dallas both about being named a captain. You were the third one, but you were also voted, I think, MVP and most inspiring player by your teammates. Just what did all of that mean to you?
Yeah, with all that, I take a lot of pride in that. I'm very appreciative to be seen as that. But with anything, I try to play for my brothers in the locker room, and I try to play for these coaches, and I try to play for the A, and I try to do it as best as I can. So it's a true honor to have all those accolades. But with everything, now I just had to take it another step and really just be the best version of myself every single day I come into the facility.
Coach Saban mentioned the first handful of days of practice here have been about getting back to fundamentals. What's that look like for you and the other quarterbacks?
Yeah, 100%. Coach Saban is right about that. And with us, we just try to fall back to our level of training and work on our fundamentals and reading things properly and little things like that. And with all of us, we just try to take our game to the next step as we have this time period before Michigan, really trying to master our game and improve and little things like that. So this is a great opportunity for our team, and I'm happy to have this time.
Two questions, Jalen. One, Coach Saban mentioned, I think a week or two ago, that the time off was really good for the team in terms of rest. So what has this time off done for your legs, one? And two, what do you think of what you've seen from Michigan's defense on film?
Number one, this is a great time period for us. Like he mentioned, this is a great time for work on our fundamentals and really honing in on our skills, and then also getting guys healthy because this is a tough season. We have a long period. We're just playing in the SEC. We're playing tough opponents, and having this time to have our bodies heal and get everybody to where they need to be at to be ready for Michigan. What was the next question that you asked?
What you think about Michigan's
defense? Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. The first thing that pops up on tape is how tough they play. Very tough team. There's a reason why they're undefeated because how well the defense plays together. They force turnovers. All elements of their defense play hard together, and you can see that, and it jumps out on tape. So we have a hard task in front of us, and we have to prepare the right way to be ready to play Michigan.
Yeah, I remember you said you grew up a Vince Young fan. How many times have you seen the highlights or the game of him against USC at the Rose Bowl?
A lot, yeah. I grew up watching Vince Young, and I've definitely seen that highlight. And, growing up, I've seen that highlight. So, yeah, I've seen it this week.
On the same note, the 2009 Texas-Alabama game at the Rose Bowl, do you remember watching that, and what's it going to be like to play in that stadium?
Well, we have Josh Chapman that's here, and he talks about that game all the time. So, I'm familiar with the game, and I'm familiar with how our Alabama team finished the game with 4 quarters, and that's something that spoke out about that game. And so I am familiar with the game and how hard it took to take the Texans down.
Jalen, coach was on Pat McAfee on Friday and basically said that he was going to set this up like a one-game season. How have you experienced that, and how are you furthering that message from the quarterback position?
Yeah, it's all about having singular focus and doing our job. I think that's something that's going to reveal when it comes to playing on Saturdays, is having that type of mindset. I think that's very critical to playing these games like this, is should really just maximize every opportunity that we have. And with that, we got to appreciate the grind. We got to appreciate where we're at, because teams set goals for themselves prior to the season. And one of the goals will be where we're at right now. So all we can do as a football team is appreciate it, but also acknowledge that we have a lot of work to do to be successful.
You guys added another quarterback to your room with Julian coming in. Just what have you seen from him so far, and what is your advice to someone going through his first college practices?
Yeah, for me, I've been in his shoes, being a freshman that coming into college, and all I can try to do is try to give him the information I've got, and really try to allow him to be a sponge for the information that I have, and be a good teammate for him. With him, he spins the ball really well. It's been really good to have him in the room and have another guy in the room. With everything, I'm just appreciative to have another brother in the room, and he's doing a really good job practicing, and he's a good dude.
This has been a good couple of days. The guys had a lot of time off. So I guess like these past couple of days, we just had to buckle down and, just get used to playing football again, and, just having the contact, just working on little things such as like hand placement and technique and stuff like that.
A couple weeks ago, your teammates voted you as a team captain. Just what did that mean to you, and how have you found yourself maybe stepping up into a leadership role this year?
I mean, this is a blessing, to lead a group of guys that we have. This is something that's going to be set in stone forever. You come back and put our hands in the cement and stuff like that. But, it's a big accomplishment. It's a blessing. I'm just grateful to lead a group of guys like that. So.
Michigan's offense is pretty balanced. They don't throw it all over the field like a lot of schools. What does that mean for y'all as a defense and you as a linebacker to set the edge and do a better job playing the run?
We just got to bring our hard hats whenever we play them. And, just got to be a more physical team when we play. We got to practice like that throughout the week and, just pick up on every single tendency that they do as an offense.
It's not often that an SEC player gets to go to the Rose Bowl. So what does that mean to you to play in that stadium?
I mean, I know how iconic the Rose Bowl is. I grew up watching it. So, this is a very good opportunity for me and my teammates, just go out there to Los Angeles, have a good time, and have some fun. A lot of people on our team never even been out west before. So, it's going to be a good experience for everybody.
Charlie?
Going back to Michigan just a little bit, what stands out about J.J. McCarthy, their quarterback?
J.J. McCarthy, he stands out in the way how he runs that offense. He's kind of like a general on that offense. But, he makes sure that those guys know what they're doing. And, he's just a good quarterback overall and a good leader from what I'm seeing.
After, week to week throughout the regular season, there's a better part of a month between games. What have been the challenges of just trying to keep everybody on the same page and maintaining maybe some of that, uniformity?
I mean, like towards this part of the season, a lot of guys' bodies start breaking down. A lot of people start, getting sore, banged up and stuff like that. Just from the constant pounding and stuff like that. In games and practice and stuff like that. So you just got to keep everybody head steady. We all got one goal that we still trying to achieve. And so just got to have the right head on your shoulders.
Hey, Malachi, we haven't talked to you since the banquet. Just what did it mean to be named a team captain by your teammates?
To me, that's like kind of the biggest honor you can receive here. Just being looked at by your teammates and your brothers as a person who leads by example and somebody they can look up to that does the right thing. And, it's truly an honor to be voted captain by my teammates.
Matt? Mentioned yesterday that the first few days of practice are all about getting back to fundamentals. What's that look like just in practice for you?
Just a lot of good on good, going against our good receivers, going against our first team O-line, the first team offense, and just going out there and competing making sure we were working our technique, working on the fundamentals that, we really don't get to harp on as much when we game plan for a team on a game week. But yeah, this has been a good week of just getting back to the fundamentals of things, like you said, and getting good on good reps.
Malachi, you probably don't come in the front door of this facility very often, but do you ever look up at that Mal Moore athletic facility and think one day you'll come back and tell people your building was named after you, or have you ever done that?
Like the first time I came here, like as a recruit, like the first time I ever been to Alabama, I seen that it was Mal Moore on the little complex thing, and I just thought it was kind of cool because that's kind of like, you could say it was my name, Malachi, but nah, that's something I always thought about.
You were kind of young, but do you remember growing up and watching the Rose Bowl Alabama-Texas game in 2009?
Yeah, I do remember watching that game. It's kind of the thing, like when Mark Ingram scored and kind of put his gloves up like that, I went to practice like the next day, and every time I scored, I would do the same thing like every single time I scored. But I definitely remember that, and it's going to be fun playing in it.
Malachi is a veteran on this team. What's your message to the rest of the team, and particularly the younger guys, as you guys prepare for the playoffs, something that you've been through before, but maybe some of the others haven't been through quite yet?
Yeah, I would just say that we need to approach it like the same way we've been approaching each and every week. Our goal each and every week is to go out there and play our best game for 60 minutes, and it's going to take great preparation to do that, and that's something we've been harping on all year. So it shouldn't be much of a change. Maybe a little bit more attention to detail and a little bit more urgency in practice, but yeah, just making sure we go out there and do the right thing and execute the calls that coaches give us.
Follow-ups, Charlie?
Thanks. When you're watching film, just what stands out about J.J. McCarthy and Michigan's offense?
Watching them, they're like a real balanced team. J.J. does a good job of managing their offense and setting up the offense, changing the look if you give away a blitz or something like that, checking the calls, and putting his team in the best situation to win.
As you may or may not know, I just recently dropped my 100th video. And to commemorate the moment, my kids bestowed upon me a wonderful honor. YouTube doesn't care that I have 100 garbage videos, but my kids do. So they made me this awesome gift. They made me this awesome plaque, for lack of a better phrase, to commemorate the moment. And if you would, I'm gonna put it up here. If you would, we, I know a lot of you guys are busy, but if you could, please subscribe to this channel, because we want to eventually replace this with something. There's nothing better than this, but if you could, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really, really need it. Just please. Just, I gotta talk to that boy about that. Yeah, we did it. And before we get into Sunday today, I did have a little clip of a Michigan fan who I just wanted to share this with y'all. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. Remember to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends.
So apparently, Alabama has hired our ex-linebackers coach, Mr. What's-His-Name. Well, shout out to Mr. What's-His-Name. He went and applied to Alabama, and now he's got a job. We didn't need him anyway to beat up our little Brother, Ohio State, about a month ago now. So, yeah. But very happy to see him get hired somewhere else. But, yeah, that is a big advantage for Alabama because now Nick Saban's going to have somebody who basically spied on us the whole time. Practice, games, everything. So I guess Nick Saban's a cheater now too. I'm just kidding, he's not. But he is a winner. Do I think it will have any impact on the game itself? No. Again, as I've said, and I'm a Michigan fan, I don't like how Michigan has been caught with the cheating, and they've still gone about it like they're victims, and the fan base for the most part defends it and is okay with it. I don't agree with that at all. So a part of me, I want Michigan to win, of course, but from a moral standpoint, I want to see Alabama win because they haven't been caught with cheating anything. They've been accused of being favored. Yeah, favoritism. You can ask Florida State about that, but not because they've been cheating. So that's not their fault. But I guess that's my reaction. I don't know.
Shout out to GNS Coverage 9703. Hey, that man got an appetite after my own heart. Whew. So it's good to know that he does have good sportsmanship and he has a code of ethics. Just need to work on that dining etiquette, but shout out to him. I hope he can take a joke. If not, meet me down at the Walmart nearest you. Anyway, I'm just joking. No, he's an honest guy. I just want to throw that in there for a little levity, break up all the seriousness of all the interviews. So now let's get down to it. Now, when it comes to high school recruiting and what 17, 18-year-old people are going to do, I'm just not that into it. I used to be into it when I would hear about a local guy in Alabama who my high school may have played against. They were going to a big school and I was all crazy about it in college, got crazy about it. But by the time I had children, yeah, I was pretty much done with it. Because, trying to keep up with who goes where gets kind of crazy. But I am kind of excited about the portal. Inside the portal, you find guys that may have a little experience. At least they've been to college. They were able to stay out of trouble, stay in school. And sometimes you get guys with a little experience. When I first saw this article where we had LT Overton coming into Alabama, when the rumor started, I got kind of fired up. And that's because I'm still on this, I'm kind of amped up by this Coach Primerization of football. I guess you'll say that. So anytime we hear portal in Colorado, you get nervous, you get all itchy like he had us and, just start tripping out. But when I got down to the brass tacks of things, looking at LT Overton, I said, wait a minute, let me go look up his stats. Well, he has agreed to enter the portal and he will become a member of the Crimson Tide. I'm not sure when he can join the team. I know we have, as Jalen mentioned in his interview, young man is already on campus as a quarterback. Sayin, I think that's his name. I'm kind of getting used to that. I'm Sayin. Got a Jalen's all over the place. Got another Caleb coming too, I think. But I looked at his stats and I was like, oh man, this man coming in here with 1 sack in 2 years. But then I started thinking about it. I think just like with the recruits, everybody's looking for good material to enter into the factory or into the process. So maybe this guy was on our radar. He was rated as a 5-star coming out of high school. They have him at a 4-star now. I don't know who's doing that rating. But he's coming in and maybe that's going to be good material that goes into the process. Of course, that process is engineered by the GOAT, Coach Nick Saban. And, he can take it to another level. I mean, look at what he's done thus far. It speaks for itself. So I am excited to have him on board. I hope you are too. And now let's look at who else is coming into the University of Alabama, either already there today or coming at least by next fall, hopefully. Now here's the list so far. I grabbed this from Touchdown Alabama. I love those guys over there. Stephen M. Smith is the greatest. The greatest. I said it, Stephen M. Smith, not that other Stephen Smith. He's the greatest. I love Touchdown Alabama. You can't stop me. That's the reason why I'm here. Anyway, you look at these names up here, you got a lot of 4 stars. I like the 4 stars almost better than the 5 stars because what I do know, when these guys go home and they go to their high school football games, there's going to be a guy lurking in the shadows saying, hey, you're doing good over there at Tuscaloosa, but if you come over here to Jerkwater State, I got that bag for you. So anyway, that's how we're going to be living, folks, from now on in. So as I said, Julian Sayin He's already with the team. He's in the quarterback room, keeping Milroe company. And I'm not sure how many of these other guys have shown up thus far, but we're looking pretty good. And here's the interesting thing. Once again, I think Coach Prime is the #1 portal team, right? #1 team in portal recruiting. Alabama comes in at around 52. And I think I already know the answer to this question, but which team are you rolling with? And that's what I'm saying. You get people in, you got to be able to mold them. You got to be able to mold them. You know, when did this thing start with Coach Saban? 2007, 2008? I think we had decent recruits, but we had somebody that could mold them. And with your help, Bama Nation, they were motivated to become the best they could be in less than 3 years winning the championship. So now, the table's a little different. We have a better crop to pick from. But even picking from the crop, you gotta know what you want. Yeah, you give me $5 million to coach somebody's team. I wouldn't even do that to University of Alabama. I guarantee you, in Division I, I guarantee my team does not come close to winning the game. I don't know what I'm looking for. I know what to look for in a linebacker. You know, somebody I'm thinking about running from, that helps. You know, defensive line, pretty much the same thing. But I don't know what a quarterback should do. You got to know what you need. You got to know what you want. You got to see that whole thing through. There's some things that I manage in my life that I do wonderfully. Coaching football, putting football teams together is not one of them. So that's about all I have for today. I'll have more tomorrow on day 11 in the countdown to Michigan in the Rose Bowl. But I'm excited. I think the little hair I have left on the back of my head is starting to stand up almost every day as soon as I wake up in the morning. But I'll have more for you tomorrow. Please like, subscribe to the channel, share it with friends. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and I'll reach back out to you tomorrow. Roll, Tide, roll.